Hello and welcome to Quiz Chicken. Your challenge is to guess which character doesn't belong. Let's get started. Who here wasn't in Moana? The odd one out is Mariano Guzman. He was in the movie Encanto. Who here is not in SpongeBob SquarePants? Flounder is the odd one out. This fish has been in 9 feature films including The Little Mermaid and 17 video games. Who was not in the movie Encanto? Tio Berto was not in Encanto. He was in the movie Coco. Who was not in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish? The odd one out is Master Shifu, who is the master of the Jade Palace and trainer of the Kung Fu Panda. One of these is not a Frozen character. Like Elsa, Jack Frost can manipulate ice and snow, but he's from Rise of the Guardians. Here are some characters from Cars 2. Which one doesn't belong? Dottie is the odd one out. She can be found in the movie Planes. Who was not in Minions: The Rise of Gru? Metro Man is the odd one out. He's Megamind's arch nemesis, and he's also the last member of his species. Which character was not in Turning Red? The odd one out is Patty, who is the mother of Penny Peterson and Mr. Peabody and Sherman. One of these Shrek characters does not belong. The odd one out is Roz. She works at the Monstropolis Energy Regulatory Commission in Monsters, Inc. Who here was not in the movie Toy Story? The odd one out is Lucy, or Wild Style. She's a tech-savvy fighter and one of the master builders in the Lego Movie. Can you spot the odd one out in these Lego Movie characters? There is a Harry Potter Lego character, but it wasn't in the Lego Movie. One of these characters is not in The Simpsons. Which one is it? Professor Farnsworth is a 160-year-old CEO of Planet Express in Futurama. Here are some characters from Tangled, but one of them doesn't belong. Alma, or Abuela, is the odd one out. She's the mother of Giulietta, Peppa, and Bruno in Encanto. Who should not be here in this group? The odd one out is Reflux, who is an aspiring superhero in the 2018 sequel Incredibles 2. Can you spot the character that wasn't in Ralph Breaks the Internet? Melvin Sneedley is from Captain Underpants. He's the smartest person in all of Jerome Horwitz Elementary School. Which of these characters is not in Rick and Morty? Morbo the Annihilator can be found in Futurama, biding his time on Earth, awaiting the perfect day to destroy the inferior humans. Which character was not in Monsters, Inc.? Fergus is the odd one out. He's one of Shrek and Fiona's triplets. One of these characters is not in Bob's Burgers. Cleveland is from Family Guy. He grew up in Stool Bend and played high school baseball. Who should not be in this group? Osvaldo was not in Ratatouille. He can be found in Encanto. Who's the odd one out in these Rise of the Guardians characters? Marshmallow is the odd one out. He's the enchanted snowman created to serve as Elsa's bodyguard in Frozen. Which character was not in the movie Luca? Grandmaster Oogway is from Kung Fu Panda. He was the developer of the Dragon Warrior legend. Who wasn't in the movie Penguins of Madagascar? The odd one out is Hammy. He was the hyperactive and somewhat dim-witted squirrel in Over the Hedge. Who here was not in the movie Robots? The odd one out is BB-8. The Star Wars robot can be found in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Can you spot the character that wasn't in Flushed Away? The odd one out is Hank. Hank is an octopus in Finding Dory, or rather a septopus because he lost a tentacle. Which character was not in the movie Up? Nigel is the odd one out. He's a pelican who loves to spend hours in the dentist window diagnosing dental problems. Do you know which of these characters was not in Kung Fu Panda? The odd one out is Kitty Softpaws. She's a famous outlaw and Puss in Boots' girlfriend. Who is the odd one out in these South Park characters? The odd one out is Plankton. He can be found in SpongeBob trying to steal Mr. Krabs' secret formula for the Krabby Patty. Which of these was not in Horton Hears a Who? Nick is the odd one out. Nick Wilde is a charming, small-time con artist fox in Zootopia. Who here was not in Finding Nemo? The odd one out is Uncle Hugo. He's a sea monster in the movie Luca. Who here was not in How to Train Your Dragon? The odd one out is the hook-hand thug. He can be found singing I Have a Dream in Tangled. Which character was not in Meet the Robinsons? Helen Parr, or Elastigirl, is the odd one out. She's the wife of Bob and the mother of Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack. Can you spot the character that's not in Family Guy? Gene Belcher is not in Family Guy. Gene is an aspiring musician in Bob's Burgers. Who was not in the movie Home? The odd one out is Searcher. He's an explorer in the movie Strange World. Which character was not in Incredibles 2? Sergeant Calhoun is the odd one out. She can be found in Wreck-It Ralph fending off cybugs. Which of these are not a Futurama character? Groundskeeper Willie is the odd one out. He's the janitor of Springfield Elementary School. Who's the odd one out in these Inside Out characters? Candlehead is the odd one out. She's a racer in Wreck-It Ralph. Her cart is the ice creamer. Can you spot the character that wasn't in Over the Hedge? Pascal is the odd one out. Pascal is Rapunzel's pet chameleon in Tangled. Who was not in Captain Underpants? Bruni is the odd one out. Bruni lives in the Enchanted Forest in Frozen 2. One of these characters was not in Mr. Peabody and Sherman. The odd one out is Ming Lee. She's May's overprotective mother in Turning Red. Which character was not in the movie Brave? Astrid is the odd one out. She was a Viking warrior and How to Train Your Dragon. Thanks for playing our quiz. I hope you enjoyed it. If you love quizzes, don't forget to subscribe.